About a year and a half ago, I lived in this Ford Transit Connect for about 6 months. I traveled around the US making and selling jewelry. The goal was to see if I enjoyed van life and if I would want to invest into something bigger. I also wanted to grow my jewelry business. I ended up really liking the flexibility of van life, so I wanted to invest into something bigger because the one I had was just way too small for long term. So I decided to go home and work on my business in my apartment for a little bit, and also hopefully find a bigger van. I have a lot to catch you up to speed on because basically I'm about to summarize my year into 10 minutes. The first order of business was to sell the van once I got home. I wasn't sure how long it was going to take, so I wanted to list it as quickly as possible. My goal was to make about the same that I bought it for, which was $7,000. A month after I listed it, I sold it for $6,300, so I was really excited about that and not sad to see it go at all. Honestly, I was just really excited. Coming home, I had a mission, and that was to teach myself how to lost wax cast, which is another form of jewelry making. By learning how to cast, I would be able to make any design out of metal, which was something I couldn't do before. Originally, I was planning on teaching myself how to cast and then finding another van, but the more I got into it, the more I wanted to stay home and kind of just focus on my business. So that's when I decided to teach myself how to make grills.
Yeah, it is a bit loose.
Learning how to make grills way harder than I thought it would be. There are so many different aspects that require different skills, and I was teaching myself, so it was definitely taking some time. I worked at learning every single day. I was practicing on my friends. I was selling cheap grills. I don't think a day went by where I didn't pick up a piece of jewelry. This was also my first winter as a full-time artist. I wasn't working any other job, so it was kind of a lot of pressure trying to learn and sell. I wanted to upgrade my skills from hand carving to CAD design, which is computer designing. And I'm type B, right-brained, and I know my limits, so this was not something that I wanted to teach myself. I ended up finding a designer on Instagram who was offering classes, so I decided to take them. I was kind of worried because we weren't allowed to record the classes, we just had to watch and listen. And I was never good in school. So all of a sudden I became a D1 note taker, listener, and it paid off because I ended up learning a lot. It was so much easier than I thought it would be. Definitely the best decision that I made all year. A break from the jewelry. I went on a couple trips last year. Hawaii and Lisbon were the main two. I'm not gonna lie, I was a little worried about going to Hawaii because a little backstory, personal moment. When I graduated high school, I went to a religious, missionary school there. I would say that experience was the birth of the next worst 2 years of my life. So a little traumatized from Hawaii, but I was also excited because we were going to a different island and I was going with my friends. So it was basically just a reclaim the vibes trip, and it worked because we had a lot of fun. Portugal, Lisbon was the next trip, and this one I went by myself, but I met up with one of my friends. It was a quick 1-2 moment. I was only gone for a week and a half. I think one moment that stood out to me here was I did meet the cutest boy I've ever seen in my life here, and he carried my suitcase for me. So shout out, I can't even say his name, it's crazy. But overall the trip was great. I love going to other countries, and this trip just kind of reignited my flame for that. I got really excited because now I'm like, okay, I definitely have to move to another country or spend at least an extended period of time in one in the near future. Which country? I have no idea. I still want to go to Asia and Africa and kind of just see where I feel most comfortable. When I got home from my trips, it was back to reality, which my reality was I was not saving enough to buy another van. So I ended up emailing about 50 brands, hoping I could get a brand deal. And one brand got back to me and they wanted to work with me on a creative grill, which felt extremely rewarding because I'd been working on learning how to make grills for so long, and now I got to make one that was also going to fund my trip. The brand was Ithaca Hummus, which was just a hummus brand that I was eating regularly, and they wanted me to promote their jalapeno lime hummus flavor. I was so excited about this collaboration. I did not want to disappoint, so I genuinely tried to think of the coolest grill I could possibly make, and I was still new in my skills, so I was a little worried, and it did take me quite a few tries, but it ended up coming out so good. They loved it, I loved it, and overall it was a great experience. When summer came around, I started working construction again, which was honestly such a relief. Our construction crew is like family vibes. We all joke around and drink coffee and work. We do work. But it was just nice to get away from the jewelry stuff. I was still doing it, just not as much as I was in the winter. Towards midsummer, I was really starting to look for my next vehicle that I wanted to live in. Every night, every morning, I was on Facebook Marketplace. I still didn't have the biggest budget in the world, so I was a little worried. But I ended up finding this box truck for $13,500. Still a lot of money, but I think it's perfect. I think it's beautiful, and I was very excited about it. After I bought the box truck, it was no brakes, all gas. I had so much to do prior to leaving on my trip. I had about 2 months before I wanted to leave, and I locked in on my little workout routine. I was waking up at 5 o'clock, going to the gym, and then starting my day. Mind you, I am not pro hustle culture. I am pro chill and vibe, but this season for me was all hustle, no vibes. Honestly, it was very, very stressful. I was just juggling too much, and I overcommitted to orders. There was so much to do with the van still. I wanted to redesign basically the whole thing so I could accommodate it for my jewelry business. So I was trying to balance fixing the van, sending out orders. I was still working construction. I ended up reaching out to one of my friends who's an architect, and we ended up trading skill for skill. So I was working on a custom chain for him and also making a grill, and he was going to help me build my kitchen. And that was a huge relief because I know if I did it myself, it would have taken a lot longer. But overall, like the whole process, yes, it was stressful, but I also got so much help. Like my dad helped me, my mom helped me. Random people on the internet would reach out and ask if they could help. Someone even Venmo'd me $50 to go towards my build. And I feel like those are the things you don't see whenever you're on the internet and you see someone grinding on something. There are so many people and experiences that go into one person's success. And while being disciplined and hardworking is important, so many people helped me this year, and I don't think I would have done half the things that I did without 1, support from customers, and 2, support from my friends and family. As the year started to come to an end and my travel date was creeping up, I needed some form of plan because I didn't have one. Frankly, I didn't have time to think of one. People started to ask me my route again, and I was like, ooh, yikes, I have no idea. I was so focused on just finishing my orders, finishing the van, that I wasn't really even processing what I was going to do on my trip. The whole year, I was focused on learning and consciously. I got to the point where I wanted to with GRILLZ, and I was very excited about that because I felt like I could make anything with the skills that I had acquired. And now that I was about to enter van life mode again, I was like, okay, I need to redirect my vision. What are my goals for this upcoming year? Because I kind of like to take things in years and I like to switch it up. So I decided that this year was going to be more of a content year. I wanted to grow my accounts. I think one of my goals as an artist is to be able to work on one piece for an extended period of time. So I want to grow as an artist strategically so I can actually get to a point where that's possible. Mainly because what I'm doing now just doesn't feel sustainable. It's such a grind and I really like it right now, but I know in the future it won't always be like that. So this year my goals are to work on more creative projects, kind of establish myself a little bit more as an artist, and then also find other forms of income so that I'm not solely reliant just on my jewelry. I don't know. I have a lot of ideas and plans, and I'm excited to kind of try them out as I travel. So we'll see how that goes. I got this face mask from a girl from Japan in Portugal, and I've been saving it for a special occasion. I finally packed up my apartment and left on my trip. It was super last minute. I packed the day before I left. I'm keeping my apartment to come back to, so I wasn't as worried about what to bring. I definitely left with things unfinished. I still had orders. My apartment was kind of a mess, but honestly, it just needed to happen. I felt like I was going crazy. I didn't even capture what I really wanted to on my camera. Like, I'm yapping over some really random footage, but this was a much needed update. I needed to let you guys in on what went down throughout the year, and trust I will be posting more consistently on YouTube. I'm so excited to keep you guys up to date. This is more gonna be the BTS chill vibes because this is our safe little space moment, and so I'm gonna keep it that way and let you in on everything that's happening. So stay tuned.